So what happens when you bring together bricks and Warhammer? You get Brickhammer, which is seriously the best intersection of everything I could possibly love, especially with regards to this channel. It is literally sprues and studs mashed into one delicious conglomerate together. So in this video, we are going to be taking a look at some Brickhammer figures, or you can just say Lego minifigures that are pretty much Warhammer 40k that I found on America's largest online realtor. And originally I did see this come up on the internet. However, most of these things were prohibitively expensive. However, like I said, I did find a set that was very cheap on Amazon and worth the price of admission, maybe. But there's only one way to tell. So let's take a look at these glorious bricks. The Brickhammer box is completely boring and very nondescript, as you can see here. So we're going to bust this open and see exactly what's inside. All right, so obviously we have very shiny plastic. It would appear that we have a Blood Angel right here, an Ultramarine. Going to guess this is going to be the Dark Angel. White Scar, Imperial Fist, Blood Angel with brighter colors, and then a Black Templar along with separate sprues of very nice looking weapons here. So let's assemble one of these up, shall we? All right, this is exactly what the set comes with. Obviously, you got the backpack, front of the armor, the helmet, the arms of the armor, the belt, the feet of the armor, and then the minifigure itself, as well as the minifigure's arms. You obviously have actually very accurate looking chain sword, power sword, bolt rifle, and then a plasma pistol. So let's assemble this lovely Space Marine right here. At cursory feel of these figures, they don't seem to glide as smoothly as a branded brick would. It just seems very kind of like stiff and not very flowy. The plastic has kind of like a cheap feel to it. But I have to say, looking at the printing on this minifigure's face, it's actually not that bad. You see you have a bionic eye here, and then pretty good screen on details with the face and some scarring. You've got this sort of suit that's underneath the armor, and the printing also is fairly intricate in my opinion. Not too bad. If we flip her over to the other side, the back is completely unadorned with nothing. And this is a close-up of the backpack right here with a Blood Angel symbol. So here we have the helmet of the Marine and then the body armor here. And once again, I'll have to say that the printing is fairly decent. This is your characteristic teardrop, and it's got a little bit of printing issues. So let's outfit this Marine then. I'm gonna put the armor on, starting off with the body, the helmet. The backpack attaches back here, and you seem to have to force this in a little bit. And I think that we have to detach the legs in order to fit this part of the armor on. I believe the arms of the armor is supposed to just snap right on in, like so. In terms of how it fits, they seem to fit fairly well. Let's put on the bottom half of this armor here. If we shake this around like that, doesn't seem like we're going to have the parts that are going to fall. So let's outfit this Marine with assault weapons. So let's go for the chain sword, and it just detaches like this, like a regular sprue. And then a plasma pistol combination. And then this is your chainsword right here, which I believe looks fairly accurate to the 40k chainswords, funny enough. The chainsword glides in smoothly into the hands of this minifigure. And then how does the plasma pistol go? It's a little bit wonky. I would have to say that this thing does not fit quite well. At least this Marine is able to hold the plasma pistol. So here you go. And now let's take a look at the rest of these Marines. Clearly we have a White Scar and an Ultramarine over here. Looks like my particular White Scar comes with another bolt rifle, a plasma gun. This guy comes with a bolt pistol and another bolt rifle. And there's small differences in the Blood Angel one in that looks like this guy's armor, you're able to put this Aquila in right here. You have to slot it in, whereas the Blood Angel did not have this, and you have very distinct badgings right here. And this is what the Ultramarine one looks like. Get all the pauldron designations. It appears that on these particular figures, the pauldrons actually are not attached to the arm, just like how they were in the Blood Angel. The pauldron is going to be attached up here on the armor. So before I assemble the Ultramarine, I'm going to take a side-by-side comparison look with the printing on these minifigures. And I will have to say that the heads of these minifigures do actually have a proper grim dark look. So because the assembly of these things are slightly different from the Blood Angel, I'm just going to assemble an Ultramarine for you right here. So you've got this Aquila right here. Then we're going to assemble the pauldrons on like so. And then we are going to then outfit this Marine with his power armor. And actually, before we do that, appears that we have to put on the outer part of the armor right here. So it definitely makes him look a little bit more beefy. Armor then goes on top like this. Put the head on. And then the helmet fits quite snugly. And this is the belt portion. And you kind of have to move the arms up to make this thing fit. The leg armor is just going to slot in over here. And then here is the backpack that fits on this peg. We have the bolt rifle, which fits in really nicely. And also the bolt pistol does fit nicely as well for some dual wielding action. So let's see the rest of these lovely Space Marines. We have the Imperial Fist, the Black Templar, and the Dark Angel in front of us. So it appears that there are two different constructions as we have seen before. The first construction is when you have the pauldron on the armor, and then you have the pauldron that slots in on the arms of the figures. I forgot that the minifigures with the pauldrons on the armor itself have pretty decent printing on it, whereas the ones with the pauldrons on the arms are very plain looking. And through the magic of cinematography, we shall magically put together these minifigures in an instant. And here we have the fully assembled band of brothers in front of us. And I will have to say that these 5 brothers in the middle are the construction that I like, which has the pauldron on the armor, whereas these 2 guys over here have the pauldron on the arms. They just don't seem like they fit quite right and aren't constructed as well as the 5 in the middle. What we're going to do is actually take a real Lego minifigure and see if any of these Marine parts will fit on this guy and vice versa. On the left side, we have the Space Marine, and on the right side, we have the legit Lego minifigure. So let's swap these parts and see if they actually fit on each other. Put the head on this part. It does fit snugly, no issues. So let's check to see this out. Not too bad. We're gonna put the belt on this minifigure and no problems whatsoever. Next thing we're gonna do is outfit the arms. And the arms feel a little bit loose right here. My initial assessment. It fits really loosely on this one. You can hear it rattle around. Then we're going to put the armor on. And it appears that the legit Lego minifigure does not have any issues accepting these parts. Then we're going to put the helmet on. It fits snugly too. Obviously the backpack's going to go on perfectly fine. What about the legs? Do these legs slot in? Yes, they do slot in. Very interesting. And then let's put the plasma pistol in. It does fit very snugly at that. Well, there you go. I was actually expecting this not to fit. And you actually cannot tell that there is a legitimate Lego figure that is underneath this Space Marine. What about the Space Marine fit into the Galaxy Trooper? Let's put the armor on. No issues here. And then put the helmet over the top. That also fits on. And then finally, I'm gonna put blasters on. All right, it appears that you are able to swap out the parts of a legit Lego minifigure with these Space Marine minifigures, so not that bad. So the final comparison that we're going to be doing today is in between the size of this Brickhammer Space Marine versus the real Firstborn Marine. And let's pick the Firstborn Marine up, put them side by side, and look at that. There is a marked size difference between the Brickhammer one versus the miniature. The legit miniature only comes up to the pauldron of this Brickhammer figure. So there is your quick comparison. That is the review of Brickhammer, so let's discuss these minifigures in my final assessments. Alright, Brickhammer fans, let me know what you thought of these minifigures in the comments section below. I am very curious to see what you have to say. My assessment of these figures are as such. They cost $30, and I'm just going to go straight up and say I personally think they are actually worth the $30 that are paid. I love the details that are on the chain swords as well as the power swords. Each and every single one of these action figures have company designations that are very, very accurate to their Warhammer 40k miniature counterparts. I really do like the individual printing of each and every single one of these Space Marines heads. They're very unique. And actually the printing on the body of the minifigure looks pretty sweet as well. As I have said before, I prefer this group of 5 over here compared to this group of 2, just because I think that the quality of these 5 are actually better than these 2 when you're looking at this set of 7. So a couple critiques that I'm going to have to say about these minifigures. For these 5 over here, the ones that you actually slot on the armor on the legs, they aren't able to fit on the studs because that armor piece actually just boosts them above the snug fitting point of these plates over here, which is unfortunate. They are very loose and they will fall off if you jiggle them around. Whereas the ones that you slot on the shin part, they will stick on with no issues whatsoever. So thank you again for tuning into this video. And with that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.